Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. I'm getting the animals up and I'm trying to use a microphone today so that you don't get distracted by that loud noise. We're still working on it, guys. We're trying to figure out who to talk to try to get someone to maintenance to come fix that noise because it's just loud and annoying. Anyway, I gotta get these animals up. You can hear them in the background, but I have a few things to do in the morning. In the morning, the first thing I do is I go to the garage and I get the feed ready. And then I come down to the paddocks and I have my rake. So I get some clean water and some raking to do before I get the animals up. It's just easier to get all this stuff done before they're out running around. I have some work to do in the garden today, so that's where we're going to be, in the vegetable garden. We've got some potatoes to take care of, and we need to harvest the onions. We'll be doing that today. But I wanted to stop and chat with you for a second before we get to work, and I had some news to share. We are making some money here on YouTube, and that was very exciting, but the most exciting part about that is I sent a donation to Oinking Acres to reflect that we're making some money on YouTube, because I don't know if you have seen the video where I am going to be sending a portion of my money that I make here on YouTube to Indy Humane and to Oinking Acres, and I sent some money just in time. Olivia is the young lady who runs Oinking Acres, and she recently sent out a call that she had rescued several farm animals from a hoarding case, and the pictures were heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. And the work that she does, she is truly one of those people that are one of the angels here on earth, taking care of those sweet, precious animals. And I did decide I wanted to spend the money on those two charities, but I also wanted to include another charity, and that is Wheeler Mission here in Indianapolis, who they help with the homeless, and they help divide their money with the homeless. And there's a women's shelter here in Indianapolis, and I will be donating some of our money towards that as well. Homelessness is a horrible thing, and a majority of people that are homeless are families, and most of them are women heading up that family. So I want to help, whatever I make here, I want to make sure that I am spreading that, because when you spread your love, it all comes back to you. And that's what we're all about here on the little farm, is spreading our love. And speaking of that, I also wanted to mention thank you so much for joining us here on the little farm. We have, my last video had 1,000 views. Now that is incredible. I know it's not a million views or anything like that, but a year ago, when I posted videos, I would get maybe 30 to 50. My goal was to get 30 views. Not that it really mattered, but to get 30 views. And occasionally I would get 50, once in a while I would get 100, but to get 1,000 views, that's amazing. Thank you so much, because not only are you helping me grow my YouTube channel, but we're spreading the love throughout the community as well. So thank you. Mwah. Love you so much. Okay, let's finish our coffee and then we'll go ahead and get out to the garden. My helpers are already busy working, but you know, coffee first for Mama. The onions are ready. I could tell because they're flopped over, and that's how you tell when they're ready or not. Now, looking at my harvest, some of them are pretty good size and some of them are pretty small. I tried a new spot for the onions this year, so I'd give it maybe a 5 out of 10. But that's okay, because that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you have a beautiful harvest, and other times you just have mediocre or not a harvest at all. So I'm glad that I do have some onions to harvest. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pull them up, and then we're going to dry them. Like the garlic, we harvested the garlic a few weeks ago. The onions will sit out in a nice warm dry spot for about a week, and then they'll be ready to store down in the basement, in the pantry. One habit that I have whenever I'm in the vegetable garden is to carry my bucket, so that if I find somebody that's not supposed to be in the garden, I can throw it in my bucket and feed it to the chickens. Now these super small ones, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in some soup today. So we'll be making something with these today inside the kitchen. Now the back of the garden, I have some vining things that are growing, and I have some beautiful sunflowers growing. Look at that, aren't they pretty? But I have my potatoes back here. The thing about potatoes is that when they start growing, they'll come up to the ground like this. And see, I'm a little bit late for this one. And then they start sprouting if you don't cover them up. Now you can't eat the potatoes if they've sprouted, from what I understand. Oop, that's a marigold, sorry. But we are going to go ahead and go through here. We'll do a little weeding, and then we will cover it up with some dirt. which is what you need to do. And I have that pile of dirt over here specifically to do that. Okay. That was a little bit of a workout. Everything looks pretty good except for, you know how it is. One thing leads to another. And I need to tie up my blackberry bush. Well, one thing leads to another. As I'm working in the garden, I realized that I don't have a trellis for my pinto beans. Now, I've never planted pinto beans before. Excuse me, sorry. I've never planted pinto beans before, and they look like they're kind of vining up. So I need to get them a little trellis. I got to figure out, what am I going to use? Well, what do I have? I have plenty of bamboo. I think what I'm going to do is make 2 places, because there's 3 rows of bees. So I'll make 2 things there so that they can grow up those things. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. I have it in my mind. I just don't know how to tell you how I have it in my mind. And the bees are starting to get busy. The morning is starting to warm up and dry things up, so I better get busy. that was a good morning's work. Got some of those chores done, and now I'm going to drink my smoothie, and a little bit I'm going to go to the swimming pool and take my granddaughter swimming. So it's going to be a good day. I'm glad I got those things done, but like I said, sometimes one thing leads to another, and you start out thinking, well, I'm going to do this today, and it ended up being several other additional things. And that's how it is when you homestead. There's always something on your to-do list. It's always something else that you see. I tell you, it's taken many, many years, many, many mistakes, many different things to make this homestead what it is. And I appreciate you following me on my journey, watching me stumble, fall, pick myself back up, and do it all over again. Thank you. Thank you so much for visiting me here on Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Get outside today if you can. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you so much.